Namaste. For 4 decades, they wanted the very same laws which, now cause of their obstinate approach, stand repealed. But they are still at it, these Andolan Jeevis, as they know not anything but extortion via protests. 50% of Indians involved in agriculture in our country, but its contribution to the GDP is a mere 18%. Just goes to prove how inefficient the system currently is. The quality of farm produce is inferior, as usually the moisture content is high. If Indian agriculture is so good as these so-called farm leaders claim, how come they can't directly sell to customers? Why demand repeal of the Essential Commodities Act? It has nothing to do with farming, but everything to do with storage. Reality, ladies and gentlemen, is a sharp contrast to the canard spread that private players will cart away your goods and store them, stock them, push artificial inflation. Fact is, there are severe restrictions on storage. We don't have enough, and due to which farmers are forced to dump their produce. They can't put the produce in cold storage. Once again, too many restrictions in place right now because of the Essential Commodities Act. There are 17 permissions that are needed to set up a cold storage facility in India, followed by Inspector Raj. No entity can store beyond a certain limit. All thanks to this Essential Commodities Act, which now will not be enforced. Thus, when farmers have bumper crops, first they cannot sell beyond their own mandi, thanks to the APMC, and then they cannot store their entire produce in cold storage facilities, thanks to the Essential Commodities Act. They also have the problem of inferior produce because of the high moisture content. So it results in them dumping their produce at times even on roads, or to sell it at a pittance due to the price crash, resulting in farmers not being able to even recover their basic cost, thus falling in the debt trap. Repeal of the Essential Commodities Act would have resulted in massive investment in cold storage. That would have reduced India's wastage of farm produce, which is among the highest in the world, and would also have resulted in more investment in food processing industry. All gone now. Even food processing industry not allowed to store fruits and vegetables as raw materials beyond a certain limit due to, once again, the Essential Commodities Act. All this was about to go. The result is that less than 10% of India's fruits and vegetables are being processed. As per a statistic, we waste as much farm produce every year due to market inefficiencies and restrictions on storage, as much as countries like Australia produce in a year. This is no longer protest politics. This is extortion. You give an inch, they grab the hand. And sadly, it's the Kisan, their well-being, the future of agriculture, reforms in agriculture that are being held to ransom by these Andolan Jeevis, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at these numbers. Can we afford MSP, the next issue that they are now trying to latch on to, and bankrupt the state? Look at the numbers. The numbers itself are shocking. 34.5 lakh crore is the MSP expenditure in the 2021 budget. And of this money, 6 lakh crore was spent by the government only on MSP on paddy and wheat, 2 products. Then 10.77 lakh crore MSP value of production for 23 crops in 2019-2020. And if you look at it, 1/3 of the budget expenditure is to be spent on buying 23 crops at MSP value. Now, is this fair? Is this fair? It's a massive blow. You are going to render an entire country bankrupt. Can these people really claim victory? Because if the farm laws are repealed, it's a blow to reforms in the agriculture sector. Upgrades in cold storage will not happen. It may hit private investment in agriculture altogether. Innovation is going to be affected in the farm sector. Small and medium farmers will continue to stay shackled, more than 10 crore of them. And they will be once again exposed to exploiters. Challenges as far as the needed infrastructure changes will not happen. Most importantly, future governments will hesitate before moving in on agricultural reform. They have not won, they have lost, and they have hurt the farmer, and it's the farmer, the Kisan of our country, that stands to lose because of these Andolanjivis. These farm laws are out, but the stir continues. And we ask, aren't these Andolanjivis exposed? And shouldn't they be withdrawn of or devoid of any support going forward? Farm laws repealed is the hashtag. Who about it? Tweet about it. Tell us what you think. We've made our case, but let's take it to those who believe this is a political opportunity. Aparajita Sarangi, MP and spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Ram Pratap Singh, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, is with us. Adwaita Kala, author, with us. Chaudhry Savit Malik, National President, Kisan Union, and Tushar Gupta, Senior Editor, Swarajya Magazine, with us. Adwaita ji, and to all our other guests, namaste and thank you very much. Let's not try and speak over each other. I will refrain. I have made my point right at the top of the show. We'd like to listen to all of you one by one. Let's start with Adwaita ji.
Thank you so much, Anand. I came in a little late, so I couldn't, I'm afraid, hear your point. So if you could start with somebody else, that would be most helpful.
The simple, straightforward aspect is, if these people are not willing to go, that means their agenda is not the Kisan. If these people have asked for something that was changing the contours of Essential Commodities Act and provide for storage, then their interest is not the Kisan. If these people don't want the implementation of the very same laws and the very same aspects which they were demanding for more than 4 decades, their interest is not the Kisan. And if they now say कि ठीक है आपने law repeal कर दिया, अब MSP भी दो, guarantee दो, despite knowing fully well the nation can't afford it, it's going to hurt the Kisan and the world will oppose India for it, then their agenda is not the Kisan. They stand exposed.
No, absolutely, and I think that is very clear. What you're seeing is that the anatomy of this protest changed very early on. It went from a protest that was led and guided by farmers to one that became increasingly embroiled in the political aspects of protest and was getting tacit and overt support from political parties. The same political parties, Anand, who had in their manifestos asked for these 3 farm laws. So, to anybody who is looking at the grammar of these protests, it's very clear exactly what was happening and how it evolved. Now, if the Prime Minister has come forward, and frankly, in living memory, there has never been a Prime Minister who has come forward and apologized and said that, look, I was unable to convince you, I'm going to take these laws back. We've never seen that happen. Even with the emergency, Indira Gandhi basically in hindsight said, maybe I shouldn't have done it. But there was no apology forthcoming. I think the Prime Minister has shown great leadership, great humility, and has actually, given the farmers something that they can hold on to as a victory. And I think that's excellent. It has come without any ego, nothing. These are the same people who said कि कानून वापसी और फिर घर वापसी. अब कानून वापसी हो गई है, तो घर वापसी क्यों नहीं हो रही?
Ram Pratap Singh ji.
I would like to say that कानून वापसी तो घर वापसी. तो अभी कानून वापसी का सिर्फ वादा हुआ है, कानून वापस नहीं हुआ है. जिस दिन कानून वापस हो जाएंगे, उसके बाद किसान फिर सोचेंगे. Number 1. Number 2, Joe, what you said at the starting of this debate, that you were sort of praising these 3 farm laws. Well, we could have a separate discussion on that point by point, and I would convince you that these farm laws were definitely not good for the farmers of the country. And that's why I'm very happy that the Prime Minister understood and repealed these farm laws. And now, let's understand, the crux of the issue here is that the farmer in India is not able to get a fair price for his produce. And to get that, let's understand, and I want to clarify to you that when we talk of MSP, we do not want the government to buy at MSP. We understand that the government does not have the resources to buy at MSP. What we want is a MSP mechanism where each crop has a minimum support price defined by the government, and then it should be illegal to make any transaction below that in the private domain. So we are not at all, don't confuse it with that we are trying to put the pressure on the exchequer of the state. No, we are rational enough to understand that. What we're saying is bring it into the market domain, make a law where the MSP, which is determined very well by the Swaminathan formula for each and every crop in India, becomes a mandatory or a statutory price. And
but the
below
Swaminathan formula, Ram Pratap ji,
that,
if you would allow me a small intervention, the Swaminathan,
please.
First thing, I have an issue when you say, let the laws be repealed and then the Kisans will decide the next course of action. I would have appreciated had you said that let the cabinet approve repealing of the laws and the Kisan will go back. Because there itself, there is pakhand in what your intent is.
No, don't
but
use such
let's
strong
leave
terms.
that aside. It's a political issue also, and politically the BJP will question that. But I'm taking exception to what you said. But the other thing is, sir, when you say that there should be a minimum price that should be defined, then that minimum price is also for a minimum quality of the produce. So, what are you doing to those Kisan who don't have a quality of produce that matches what is required? If the quality is not apt, then where will that Kisan sell? Because you are saying make it illegal to sell it below that price. Who will that Kisan sell to?
Yes. Yes. So you have to come to a mandi or an APMC to understand how this functions. A farmer goes to the mandi with his produce.
Why should they have to come to a mandi? The very fact that you are limiting the Kisan to come to a mandi to sell their produce itself, you are once again tying their hands behind their back. You are limiting their options.
You have got it completely skewed. Understand, a small farmer which doesn't have the economies of scale needs to have a market yard within 5 to 10 kilometers of his farm. And the market yard is needed because that's where the gradation takes place. Gradation cannot happen at every farm gate. So that's why the farmer has to travel that 5 kilometers with his produce to go to the market mandi and get the gradation done. That's the first stage where the moisture, quality, etc. is determined at the moment by human intervention, and that's where the inefficiency is. That's where the corruption is. That needs to be taken away by mechanizing the entire APMC gradation system, where the state government needs to make an investment in that. Post that, APMC ensures a social security for the small farmer, wherein the farmer is assured of his payment within 3 days. Where in the private domain will we be able to assure this kind of security? So why are we taking that security away from the farmer?
But the contract laws were going to ensure that. And the other aspect is you just said that the APMC is the responsibility of the state government. So why hold the centre to ransom for that? Why do you have to occupy Delhi for that? Secondly, sir, and why does the Kisan have to travel? The Kisan does not, the nearest APMC for a Kisan is not 5 kilometers. The nearest APMC for the Kisan is not 5 kilometers today. Tushar Gupta has a response. My point is, sir, all these aspects you are now moving to MSP. MSP was never the issue. The issue was the repealing of the 3 farm laws, and there you are still not committing to go back. So that means you are saying, all right, these guys are budging. Let's intimidate them more. Let's extort more. So this is extortionist politics. This entire this one. And you are saying my political agenda is superior to the Chota Kisan's agenda, because the laws which they were when we look at the 3 laws, the laws were enabling, they were not disabling. And if you believe that the laws clause by clause had a problem, the government was always willing for amendment. Why push for a repeal? Tushar Gupta. And now what the tone that's being adopted is, अच्छा ये तो हटा लिया, अब ये भी दो 6 लिस्ट की डिमांड है, 6 point demand.
Right. Anand,
Tushar Gupta.
Anand, firstly, in your introduction, you made some spectacular points. I think the farm laws were very, very well elaborated and the importance. Second point, this spokesperson for the Samajwadi Party is trying to create a perception as if the Indian agriculture sector has no private sector participation at all. 95% of the agricultural produce is going through the private sector. Fruits and vegetables, livestock, fisheries, dairy. In Punjab, dairy is a huge industry and people are paid on time while collaborating with the private sector. But I'll come to the bigger point, Anand. Anand, I have an idea right here. I think we should skip all the trouble of these protests and policy and reforms. This is very primitive stuff. Ideally, people like you and me who are tax-paying citizens, for every 10 rupees we earn, we should have a system where we can directly transfer 5 rupees to our andatas. Another 2 rupees should be transferred to our farmers with a Thank a Farmer gift card. And another 2 rupees should be transferred to the likes of Kejriwal and Congress, who have spoiled these farmers over the years with subsidies and freebies. Because today these farmers were saying, let's repeal the 3 laws. Tomorrow they will ask for MSP on everything that grows under the sun. The Samajwadi spokesperson might say that, oh, we just want a minimum MSP on certain things. But Tiket has been very clear that they want MSP on everything, and not just a normal market linked MSP. He wants an inflated MSP. Then it will be about give us free subsidies, give us electricity and water for life. Then it will be give us fertilizers for life without any accountability. Then they will say you have to procure our crops compulsorily, irrespective of the quality and the quantity or the volume. Then they will say that if you're not procuring our crops, we are going to come on the roads with the produce and then protest. So all said and done, this is no way a protest. This is no way a protest about the 3 farm laws at all. Just when the Prime Minister said that, okay, we are going to repeal the law, suddenly they care about the MSP. Now they will also do another thing. They will say that we are also liable to credit from the banks. And when the elections approach in the states, they will then demand credit waivers on the loans they've taken earlier. So this is what this entire thinking is structured into, a constrained, confused, chaotic socialist setup for Indian agriculture. These people do not want privatization. These people do not want investment, infrastructure, economic growth, in wages, the wages being doubled. Nothing at all. All they want is to sit, crowd the Delhi borders, create a political agenda, and spread chaos. That's all they want to do.
True. Freebie large. Today Arvind Kejriwal promises 1,000 rupees for every woman. That is about 13,200 crores to the exchequer. That's what it's going to cost if he honors that promise. The earnings through GST is 11,800 crores. The total debt of Punjab already is 2,82,000 crores. So this is what is being promised as far as politics and doles. So the reality is different, and the politics that's being played is very, very dirty. Frankly, the point is, sir, if anybody who's earning more than 10 lakh rupees is taxable, 7 lakh rupees is taxable, why shouldn't a Kisan who's earning more than 15 lakh rupees per annum be taxed? Why should the Kisan get electricity subsidy for that? Why should the Kisan not be paid to tax? Anyway, any Kisan who is earning less than 10 lakh rupees doesn't pay tax. But any Kisan who is paying more than 10 lakh rupees should be taxed at the same level. Why? They are also rich. We don't have a problem. You have a problem taxing rich people who are not Kisan. Why should the rich Kisan not be taxed? What is it that they are doing which is so superlative that they are above tax and they should get subsidy also? It just doesn't make sense. And then after that, they will spend all those crores that they are earning buying petrol pumps and then having 600 to 700 acres of land and using all that money to fuel protests like this, like Mr. Tiket is doing. Chaudhry Savit Malik.
जी, आपने जितने आरोप लगाए हैं, क्या आपके पास कोई सबूत है इनका? अगर सबूत हो तो भारत की जनता को दो, नहीं तो आप भी जुमलेबाज हो गए।
आपने जितने आरोप लगाए थे आंदोलन करते करते, उसका कोई सबूत है आपके पास?
एक एक सबूत है, यहीं पर दूंगा, पॉइंट टू पॉइंट।
एमएसपी हट जाएगी, सबूत है। मंडियां बंद हो जाएंगी, सबूत है।
सबूत है।
सरकार की खरीदी में कमी होगी, सबूत है। सबूत तो सब उसके विपरीत ही है।
सबूत है, सुनिए सबूत।
कहां सबूत है? सबूत तो यही है कि आंदोलनजीवी जितने हैं सब झूठे हैं। पहले बोला कानून वापस लो, घर जाएंगे, अब नहीं जा रहे। अब बोल रहे एमएसपी का कानून दो, तब घर जाएंगे। एमएसपी का कानून आएगा, फिर बोलेगा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की सब्सिडी दो, फिर घर जाएंगे। फिर बोलेंगे पराली जलाने पे अरेस्ट मत करना, फिर घर जाएंगे। फिर लास्ट में कहेंगे क्यों घर जाएंगे, यही रहेंगे।
आनंद जी, झूठ जीवी के चक्कर में आप सुनो तो मैं एक एक बात बताता हूँ। बिहार के अंदर 2006
हाँ जी, बोलिए चौधरी जी, चलिए। मेरा आपसे कोई निजी मैं आपसे कोई निजी मेरा आपसे बैर नहीं है, मैं आपका आदर करता हूं, लेकिन जो हो रहा है वो ठीक नहीं हो रहा है, किसान के लिए ठीक नहीं हो रहा है। और आप किसान हैं, आप मन में जानते हैं, दिल पे हाथ रख के बोलिए जो हो रहा है ठीक हो रहा है।
आनंद जी, दिक्कत ये है कि आप क्वेश्चन करते हैं। आनंद जी, दिक्कत ये है कि आप क्वेश्चन करते हैं, जवाब नहीं लेते।
अब आप बोलिए, मैं नहीं
अपनी राम कहानी। देखो 2006 में बिहार में ये कानून लागू हुए थे और वहां पर धान क्या भाव बिकता है, गेहूं क्या भाव बिकता है, क्योंकि वहां सारी सरकारी मंडियां बंद हो चुकी हैं। वहां पर एमएसपी पे खरीद नहीं होती है। आप पंजाब की प्रति व्यक्ति आय लगाइए और बिहार की लगाइए। आप लोग ऐसे ही हवा में बात करते हैं। अभी ये भाई साहब कह रहे थे आंकड़ेबाजी, अरे कमरों में बैठकर नहीं होता, जब खेत में आते हैं जब पता लगता है। हम क्या लेने आए थे, क्या लेकर जाएंगे, ये सुनोगे। हम आए थे गांधीवादी आंदोलन लेके और तुम हमको मुकदमे देकर भेजना चाहते हो, किसानों पर झूठे मुकदमे लगाना चाहते हो और कहते हो अपने घर चले जाए। कहां आपने वापसी कर लिया है? हमको कोई सबूत दिखाओ, कागज दिखाओ। ये मोदी तो झूठा है, ये तो 24 घंटे झूठ बोलता है। इसने 2017 में वादा किया था हमसे कि 14 दिन में गन्ने का भुगतान देंगे, मिला हमको? अरे मोदी झूठ बोलता है, मोदी झूठा है, झूठा है मोदी।
ये देखिए, ये जितना बोलेंगे ये अपने आप को एक्सपोज कर रहे हैं कि चौधरी सवित मलिक को लगता है कि अब उनको टिकट मिलेगा, वो एमएलए बनेंगे, चुनाव लड़ेंगे। अब वो किसान नहीं रहे, अब नेता हो गए।
आनंद जी, हमको
साफ
राजनीति
दिख
नहीं
रहा है।
करनी है, हम चुनाव लड़ने नहीं आए हैं, हम देश का
पर आप
अनाज
जो कर रहे हैं वो
बचाने आए हैं।
राजनीति है, आप जो कर रहे हैं वो राजनीति है चौधरी जी।
आनंद जी,
जो
अगर
आपका
देश का
हाव भाव
अनाज
और जिस
बचाना-
तरह से आज से 6 महीने पहले आप बात करते थे और आज जो आप कह रहे हैं उसमें वो साफ दिख रहा है। और वही आज लखनऊ के वहां पर महापंचायत में भी हमने देखे तेवर। बीजेपी को हराना है, ये अब हमारा एजेंडा है। बीजेपी को हराना
शुरू हो
एजेंडा
गया।
है कि किसान का हित एजेंडा है।
फिर शुरू
जैसे
फिर शुरू
जैसे
हो
ही
गया।
बीजेपी को हराना एजेंडा हो गया तो फिर एजेंडा हो गया, फिर तो आप राजनीति के हो गए, आप तो पॉलिटिकल हो गए। पूरा संयुक्त
अगर
किसान
हमारी
मोर्चा,
बात-
धावले हो या राकेश टिकैत हो, सब यही बात कह रहे हैं, आप भी वही कह रहे हैं।
आनंद जी, अगर हम जिता सकते हैं तो हम हरा भी सकते हैं। ये लोग हमारे मंचों पे आते थे, इनके राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष राजनाथ सिंह आते थे, हमारे कंधे पे पैर रख के
40
सत्ता में
साल
घूमते।
से जिन
पहुंच
कानूनों
गए।
के लिए आपने एड़ियां घिस ली, मैंने कहा जब, और
अरे
देश
आज
के
ही
गरीब
हमको
किसान
नक्सली
का हवाला
बताते
दे
हैं।
देकर आपने उसकी मांग
आज
रखी,
ही हमको खालिस्तानी
स्वामीनाथन
बताते
कमीशन
हैं।
की बात करी,
आज ये
आज
आंदोलन
उसी
जी
का
भी
उसी
बताते
के
हैं।
खिलाफ आप खड़े होके बोल रहे हैं और चौड़े होके बोल रहे हैं। तो दिख रहा है कि आप किसान कम और नेता ज्यादा हो गए सर। और मैं बड़े आदर के साथ आपको ये कह रहा हूं, आप चाहें तो अगली बार मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा कि आज से 6 महीने पहले जब आप आए थे आपने क्या कहा था और आपके क्या तेवर थे, और आज 6 महीने बाद आप क्या कह रहे हैं और आपके क्या तेवर हैं। और उसी से आपका एजेंडा मुझे साफ दिख रहा है। अपराजिता सारंगी, the prime minister, is the prime minister going to go back on his word? Are these people to be trusted? Are they really talking in the interest of the Kisan and listening to them? Should the government and should the prime minister really have conceded repeal and conceded to them?
With all emphasis, I would say that the central government under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is committed to the cause of the farmers. And in the last 7 years, we have brought about many numbers of reforms. And if you give me time, I can actually place the list before all of you. We are aware of the fact that 1,62,000 crore have gone straight to the accounts of the farmers through the direct benefit transfer methodology. 22 crore soil health cards have been issued, we are aware of. Record paddy procurement and wheat procurement have been ensured in the Rabi and the Kharif season. I think we need not forget about all these things, and about 1 lakh crore agriculture infrastructure fund has been earmarked, and the implementation of the projects under this fund is going on. So I think we need to appreciate what the government has been doing. Now here is a Prime Minister who, with all humility, made an appeal to the farmers to go back to their homes. And before making this appeal, he said that he would be repealing all the 3 farm laws. And let me tell you that these farm laws were backed by series of consultations and lots of deliberations in the parliament. I'm a member of parliament, so I know what kind of deliberations and what kind of hard work had been put into the framing of the laws and the passage of the laws. And even then, the Prime Minister steps down and makes an appeal, and I think it's the duty of the farmers' unions to actually trust the Prime Minister's words. I think we should have the minimum respect for the chair of the Honorable Prime Minister, and I would, through you, make an appeal to the farmer unions, to actually listen to the Prime Minister and go back to their homes. And we are also aware of the fact that there is a high-level committee which has been constituted, which will be looking into the whole matter. And if there
सबसे
are other
आपका
issues,
एजेंडा
that will be looked
राजनीतिक और
into.
पॉलिटिकल लग रहा है, आपका एजेंडा किसान नहीं लग रहा है, क्योंकि आपके पास तथ्य होकर भी अगर आप ये बात कर रहे हैं तो फिर
आनंद
आप
जी।
फिर नेतागिरी कर रहे हैं। तुषार गुप्ता wanted to come in,
आनंद
ladies
जी,
and gentlemen,
हम
41
देश का
lakh
अनाज बचाने के लिए
tons,
लड़ रहे
41
हैं।
lakh kilos,
हम देश की मंडी
41
बचाने के लिए
lakh
लड़
kilos
रहे
is the
हैं।
requirement of
अपनी
wheat in our
भूमि
country.
बचाने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं।
The government
इनकी तरह
today
नहीं
has
उद्योगपतियों
already
के लिए लड़ रहे
purchased
हैं।
110
लोग
lakh kilos.
उद्योगपतियों को बेच दे रहे हैं।
What are we going to do with this wheat? Where is this wheat going to go? It is going to, it is rotting because there is no storage. It is being bitten by rodents, and it is subject to all the extremities of the weather because of the Essential Commodities Act and the lack of storage facilities, and that the Kisan cannot directly export to those people who want it. They are forced to sell it in these mandis and forced to sell it only to the government right now. They can't sell it even pan-India. These are not my words. These are the words of Mr. Anil Ghanwat when he was speaking with us earlier in this evening, and he himself is a member of the Shetkari Sangathana who's been fighting for these laws for the last 40 years. And he is a Kisan from Maharashtra. So is a Kisan from Maharashtra not counted? a Kisan from Telangana, Tamil Nadu not counted? Should just a handful of those who are largely Adatiyas, or that means rich farmers who are also quasi-semi traders, hold this country to ransom and today think they can get away with more? Tushar.
Anand, last point. Anand, just look at the conduct of this farmer here. Does he anyway appear a farmer? He's a thug. Who's he to demand kagas from the Honorable Prime Minister? We have elected the Prime Minister. We have not elected thugs like these. Who has made him the ठेकेदार of all the farmers of India? He is on your show asking 2 crore नौकरियां कहाँ हैं? हमारे तनख्वाह डबल नहीं हुई है. These people are so clueless. They want 2 crore jobs. They want their wages to be doubled, but at the same time, they are resisting the interference, the participation from the private sector. So all they want to do is create chaos. That's about it in the name of politics. These are by no margin farmers with the right will or the right intent.
किसानों
को रोजगार प्राइवेट सेक्टर
किसानों के बच्चों को रोजगार मिले, इसीलिए तो स्टोरेज बनवाने की, मंडियां बनवाने की और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग करवाने की बात हो रही थी. इसीलिए तो कहा गया कि आप अपने गांव में मार्केट बना सकते हैं जहां लोग सीधा आके खरीद सकते हैं. अगर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं होगा तो रोजगार कहां होगा? और कितने लोग वापस किसानी की तरफ कब जाएंगे जब उनको उसमें मुनाफा होगा? ये सारी बातें ये सब आप जानते हैं चौधरी जी. आप उनकी तरह नहीं है, फिर भी आज आप उनकी तरह बोल रहे हैं, जिसको देखकर जिसको सुनकर मैं थोड़ा हैरान हूं. अद्वैता काला,
ऐसा है, आपने तेल कंपनियां बेच दी, अब रेट बढ़ते हैं तो कहते हैं हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, सारी कंपनियां बेच दोगे, देश में क्या बचेगा?
चौधरी जी,
अरे फिर से आपके पास इसका कोई सबूत है? जितना आप बांच रहे हैं सिर्फ अगर ये होगा वो होगा डरा रहे हो. अरे भागो भूत आया, भागो भूत आया, भागो शेर आया, भागो. शेर कहाँ है, भूत कहाँ है? नहीं, फिर भी भागो आ गया तो भागो आ गया तो यही तो कर रहे हैं आप.
क्या छोड़ा है? सब कुछ तो बेच रहे हो, LIC बेच.
अरे आपको क्या लेना देना LIC से? आप अपनी किसानी, अपनी खेती की बात करिए, अपनी फसल की बात करिए. ये बात करिए कि मैं अपनी मंडी से आगे किसको बेच सकता हूँ?
क्यों किसान LIC नहीं कराता क्या?
आपको क्या लेना देना? आपको क्या लेना देना? आप तो किसान हैं. अगर नेता है तो फिर पूछिए. किसान है तो किसानी की बात कीजिए. अद्वैता काला,
किसान कपड़े नहीं पहनेगा, किसान LIC नहीं.
अरे अब चौधरी जी, आप कैसे शब्दों का उपयोग कर रहे हैं? प्लीज आप थोड़ी संयमता से बात करिए. देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने खुद आके कहा है, किसी और ने नहीं कहा है. ऑलरेडी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये कानून लागू नहीं करने दे रहे. कोई ऐसा रिस्क नहीं है, कोई ऐसा थ्रेट नहीं है. पर आपको भी समझना चाहिए कि ये बहुत ही ज्यादा लंबा चला है, राजनीतिक हो गया है, इसमें दो राय नहीं है. और आप अगर आप यू नीड टू अर्न योर लिविंग, हम समझ गए. पर वहां पे जहां पे आप लोग ये प्रोटेस्ट का डेरा जमा के बैठे हैं, वहां के लोग, आप उनकी बात करिए, वो भी भारतीय नागरिक है. 60% उनका इकोनॉमी, उनकी अर्निंग्स कम हो गई है क्योंकि ये प्रोटेस्ट की वजह से. और भारतीय नागरिकों को जो परेशानियां हो रही हैं उनके बारे में भी सोचिए. कल अगर कोई बाहर निकल के आ जाए और कहे कि हम टैक्स पेइंग सिटीजन हैं देश के, हम फार्मर्स को भी टैक्स देना चाहिए, और धरना शुरू कर दे और प्रोटेस्ट शुरू कर दे और डेरा जमा दे कहीं भी, तो ये देश कैसे आगे बढ़ेगा? ऐसे तो सबके इंटरेस्ट होते हैं. अगर हम एक देश में रहते हैं तो हमें ईच अदर के इंटरेस्ट को अकोमोडेट करना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि आपने कह दिया तो बस यहाँ पे ही डटे रहेंगे. प्रधानमंत्री ने इतना बड़ा कदम लिया है, मैं बता रही हूँ. आज आप देख लीजिए, आप जांच कर लीजिए, एक भी प्रधानमंत्री का नाम ले लीजिए जो ऐसे सामने आए हैं देश के सामने, दिल पे हाथ रख के कहा है उन्हें कि मैं माफी मांगता हूँ. अब इससे ज्यादा वो क्या कर सकते हैं? उनकी खुद की, उन्होंने अपनी जबान दी है आपको, आप समझा भी करिए. पर आप आके यहाँ पे क्या आप
दे विल नॉट अद्वैता काला. इनको अपनी जबान पे भरोसा नहीं है, किसी और की जबान पे कैसे भरोसा करेंगे? They themselves have proven that they can't be trusted, and those who can't be trusted will not trust anybody else. And that's the reality. That's why they stand exposed tonight. And it's a sad, it's travesty. It's travesty that these people, this lot has been exposed. I am saying, check the net worth of all these people who are sitting there and they're trying to misinform these farmers. All of them will have net worth upwards of in crores, and they don't pay a single naya paisa in tax. Why? Those who earn in a few thousands or in lakhs have to pay taxes, and these people are sitting on crores and they will not pay taxes. But they want subsidy in electricity. They want subsidy for fuel. They want the license to burn parali over their hectares of land. This is what they want. This is extortion politics. This is using protest to extort. That's what they are doing. And then there will be those who will tacitly say खड़े होइए, बीजेपी के बारे में बोलिए, तभी हमको वोट मिलेगा. अभी वो हाथ उठा के खड़े हैं हमारे शो में. I've run out of time, but I'll go across to Ram Pratap Singh ji once again. Yes, Ram Pratap Singh.
Thank you, so kind. आप ही टैक्स की बात जो बार-बार आपने की, मैं एक बात कहना चाहूंगा कि we are against all doles. और सबसे पहले प्रधानमंत्री जी को जो पीएम किसान सम्मान योजना है वो बंद कर देनी चाहिए. 500 रुपए एक किसान को देते हैं, 9 करोड़ किसानों को पूरे साल में 72,000 करोड़ रुपए वेस्ट किया जाता है. 500 रुपए किसान का कोई सम्मान नहीं होता है, अपमान होता है. उसे विड्रॉ करें. एयर इंडिया बेचा है, 80,000 करोड़ में बिका है, और इसे 72,000 करोड़ रुपए इस तरह किसानों में बांट रहे हैं. ये गलत है. टैक्सेशन पे मैं एग्री करता हूं कि जो 10 लाख से ऊपर किसान अगर कमाता है तो उसको टैक्स देने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, और ऐसा कानून लाया जाए और उसको कोई विरोध नहीं करेगा. तो इसलिए ये, और रही बात सब्सिडी,
ठीक है, आप अपने मैनिफेस्टो में लिखिए कि उत्तर प्रदेश की तरफ से और अखिलेश यादव और समाजवादी पार्टी अगर उत्तर प्रदेश में सरकार में आई तो आपके मैनिफेस्टो में पहला पत्र लिखिए कि जो भी किसान 10 लाख रुपए से ज्यादा कमा रहा है वो उसी टैक्स स्लैब पे इनकम टैक्स देगा. अपनी मैनिफेस्टो में लिखिए. कल बोलिए अखिलेश यादव इस पर बात करें, और देखिए वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं. वो देखिए कि वो बोलते हैं, देखिए कि वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं. और दूसरी बात सर, जो किसान वहां गरीब है ना, उसको जो ये 2,000 रुपए मिलते हैं उससे वो बीज खरीदता है और अपने जो 1 बीघा जमीन उसकी है उसमें वो फसल की बुआई करता है. ऐसे मेरे पास कम से कम 100 केसेस हैं. 2,000 रुपया मेरे लिए बहुत है, कोई मुझे नहीं देगा, मुझे ये पैसा चाहिए, मुझे ये पैसा नहीं चाहिए. छोटा किसान कभी नहीं बोलेगा. हाँ, राकेश टिकैत को तो नहीं चाहिए. राकेश टिकैत को नहीं चाहिए. राकेश टिकैत को चाहिए कि वो अपने हिस्से से जो कर है जो भारतीय सरकार को देना चाहिए ताकि सड़क बन सके, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बन सके, जिसका हम और आप 6 करोड़ लोग देश में देते हैं टैक्स. कम से कम ये 20 करोड़ किसान जो 10 लाख रुपए से ज्यादा कमाते हैं वो भी अगर दे दें तो फिर देश का उद्धार हो जाएगा. तो फिर आपको डोल की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अपने आप बनेगा, स्टोरेज भी अपने आप बनेगा. 6 करोड़ लोग जो है वो भार उठा रहे हैं 130 करोड़ की जनता का. ये गलत बात है, ये गलत बात है. चलिए, I have to wind up, but before we wind up, ladies and gentlemen, just quickly have a look at what these Andolanjeevis are up to and why this is all protest politics and they stand exposed. Every other reform, they are the roadblock, and bowing down to them is going to cost us. Citizenship Amendment Act, then again, it's passed but yet to be implemented. The rules are yet not defined, and the likes of Owaisi are already saying next हमारा agenda CA है. किसान के किताब फार्म लॉज वापस लिए तो CA क्यों नहीं? You see where this is going. Months of street protests, blockages, so much of anarchy. Once again, then register to identify illegal migrants, the National Registry of Citizens, CAA, NRC, दोनों को जोड़ के देखिए. Those are 2 separate acts, 2 separate issues. जोड़ के देखिए. More than 3 crore illegals in our country, doesn't matter. But I don't want NRC. That's what these political leaders will say. Why? They will go and tell the Muslims, you're in danger. Look how diabolical their intent is. Big infra push, enable streamlined land acquisition, land compensation ordinance withdrawn once again because of these protests which happened. Then, next, if we move, accused of weakening farmers and laborers, which was never the intent of the bill if you had read the bill and if they had communicated. Also, 29 archaic laws replaced by 4 coherent labor codes. The full benefits still remain elusive as far as the labor reforms. Then, if you look at it, massive protest by trade unions. Once again, it is this entire CPIM left group driven, ultra left driven groups which are goading these people. Landmark legislation to protect women's rights successfully implemented. Then you had one more, uproar by opposition parties, but despite that it was implemented. 370 gone, 370 was implemented. Those are the 2 or 3 laws which have been implemented and are in process and in place, and people have drawn the benefits. The rest have all been proposed but still not fully implemented, or otherwise they have been withdrawn. This kind of protest politics is going to turn into extortion. It's going to hamper reforms, and it's going to hurt Bharat. And if it is going to hurt Bharat, then we have an issue with it. We're going to wind up debate number 1 on that note, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a very, very short break. When we come back, there is an end game happening for a former skipper of the Pakistan cricket team. His days as Prime Minister are numbered because proof, we'll put it out now, which shows that he is nothing but a puppet at the hands of the institution. Stay with us.